All right. Good morning. We are live. We are large and in charge. All right. From today's title, you can see we're off like a herd of turtles. You know those days when you want to like rally, you just want to go, go, go. This is one of those days, but we have a million things to do first. We're getting there. We're almost there. We're almost like, okay, we're gonna jet. We're gonna dive in, go, go, go. We are going to visit my in-laws out of state, and it is not that far, but we're gonna have to sit in the car for like 4.5 hours, right? And we'll be there for a while. I have set up my live streams such that after today, I'll be able to go kind of remotely without this setup, without my little push button thing and all that. The stream dock, by the way, I made a video on that stream dock, and so many people ask questions, enough questions that I'm like, maybe I should make another video. I could make a whole series of videos just based on the questions people send me. But I love this little touch button thing. At the touch of a button, I can open up another puzzle or change the format. It's really cool. But I can also work without that thanks to some hotkeys that I can do in OBS. So anyway, we're gonna be out, but still here on the streams. It'll be great. Anyway, long story short, we have got a bunch of things to do to kind of like get ready to catch up. We're mostly packed. We packed yesterday, but there are always those last minute things. We have to buy car snacks and drop the dog off. You know, we're this foster dog that we have. I have a good friend that has a couple of dogs already, and the problem is he's a shelter animal, so I'm a little nervous about giving him to someone else that has more dogs. Typically, maybe it's because of his experience in the shelter, he's a little hit and miss with other dogs. If it's a doodle, he's like, "You're just like me," and freaks out and wants to be friends with them. If it's like a little yippy dog, oh man, he gets like the big dog barks, and he'll let him know who's in charge, kind of thing. She has a couple of golden retrievers, which, he's half golden retriever already anyway. So I'm like, maybe he'll be fine. He'll be fine. It's like when you drop your kid off at their very first summer camp, and you're like, they'll be okay. They'll be fine. So when we drop him off, I'm like crossing my fingers. I know it'll be fine, but in the back of my head, I'm like, what if it's not fine? What if we attempt to drop him off and he like just, snarls at them, and I'm like, ooh. What do I do? I just want him to, start off on a good foot. So, anyway, that's our first dog sitting experience with this dog. She watched our previous dog, and Sugar was just such a sweetheart with everybody. But because of his time in the shelter, Sonny's a little hit and miss with other dogs. So I hope everything goes well. I hope so. All right, so in the connections puzzle today, we're creating 4 groups of 4 out of these 16 words. Hey, good morning, Tyson. Let's see. Good morning, John Marco. Good morning, Mandy. Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. I'm excited for today. I got a busy day. I'm glad that I get to spend some of it with you, though. My son was like, okay, but are we going? Like, we have the mindset of just like, okay, we're going to go. We can't drop off the dog for another like 4 hours. And so everyone wants to go. And yet we have to just sort of like lay low for a little while. We have to like, pack the car, get some snacks, maybe even take the dog for a walk. We got plenty of time, This is not one of those like leave early in the morning and then you drive and drive. We are going to drive and drive. It's going to be hours. But it's funny that there's kind of this delayed start. Long enough that I can do the puzzles with you, long enough that my son could go on his jog today with the cross country team. They're going I think to a park or something to trail run. It'll be fun. Many people were humbled about purple, pun intended. Tyson says you can get donuts for me and deliver them. Does DoorDash do that? Just plug in your address or something. All right, well, let's look at it. We haven't even looked at the words yet in connections. 4 groups of 4. Chess, cheek, whoopee, cushion. Oh, great, whoopee cushion. Temper, checkers, humble. Oh, there's that word you just said, humble. Attitude, lip, soften, honeycomb, cutie, dampen, camo, mouth, and stripes. Okay. To cushion, to dampen, maybe to temper, right? To like, oh, and to soften. I was going to say, these are like to soften. To mitigate. Okay, good word for it. When I said temper, I thought of chocolate. Hey, Aranha, how you doing? Nice. Gianmarco made a custom connections puzzle for you. That's so cool. That's awesome. Okay. Camo. Mouth. Lip. So, I wonder if chess and checkers go together. They must. But I don't see any other, like, games. Is it about games? Oh, you gave someone attitude. You gave someone some cheek, some lip. You gave them some mouth. Mouthed off to them. Yeah, sassiness. These are great words to explain these. Sassiness, attitude, cheek, lip, mouth. Oh, yeah, how would you send it if you had a really good one for the New York Times? How would you send that off? Okay. Chess, checkers, honeycomb. So honeycomb is like a grid. Is that what we're going with? Stripes would make a grid? No. These are patterns. Right? Honeycomb pattern, stripes, camo, checkered. Oh, okay, good. Patterns, yes. Yes. I'm nailing these words. Okay, and then whoopee, chess, humble, and cutie. Oh, yeah. Humble pie. Chess pie. Huh? Cutie pie, humble pie, and whoopie pie. I've heard of those. What's chess pie? Sorry, indulge me for a minute here. Chess pie. Chess pie is a traditional dessert with a custard-like filling, commonly associated with southern United States. A pie typically made with single pie crust, mixture of eggs, butter, buttermilk, vinegar. Oh, a bit of acid to balance the sweetness. I mean, it looks good. Looks good. Just looks like a custard pie. Huh. Looks good to me. All right, so we nearly did this in rainbow order. We did it in the same order we did yesterday, actually. Green and then yellow and then blue and then purple. This is, I call it my intended order because I had it in my head when I first started that it went green and then yellow and then blue and then purple. But then on April Fool's Day, you guys said, no, actually, it goes the other way. And I thought you were razzing me. I thought you were totally gaslighting me. No, that's actually how it is. It's yellow and then green and then blue and then purple. I just had it in my head that they were switched like this. This would be the order. So to mitigate, that's a good word for it. To cushion the blow, to dampen, to soften, or to temper. Which is interesting because tempering instead of softening actually hardens chocolate. Tempering chocolate. You throw a couple of hard pieces of chocolate into the mix and it like stabilizes the protein chains, or I forget what it does, instead of breaking them all up. Sassiness. Ooh, sassiness. Attitude, cheek, lip, and mouth. That's funny that all three of those last ones are like body parts, you know? Give me cheek, give me lip, you give me sass. Okay, and then the blue category was patterns. Right, camo pattern, checkers, right, checker grid, honeycomb pattern, kind of a hexagon thing, and then stripes. Cool. And then chess pie, which apparently is this like custard pie. Looked good. Cutie pie, humble pie, whoopie pie. I have a lot of family that lives in the South, came from the South, and I've never heard of chess pie. So I even as a borrowed Southerner, that's news to me. I like learning new things, even things that like I should know already. You know what I mean? Okay. To get ready for a vacation. Gosh, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's crazy. We are packing. How you might feel after riding a roller coaster. Oh boy, would you feel dizzy? Maybe, I don't know. There's a CZ, so it's like czar or something. I don't know. All things being equal. I've heard that one before. Small donkey of the Southwest. Is it a burro? Let's see. Items shot from cannons at basketball games. I would say t-shirts. Right? What are they going for? Is it just tees? Maybe it's just tees. It is! Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love it. Here, let's go back to it. We didn't even go to the down clues. That's wild. Okay, get ready for a vacation to pack. How you might feel after riding a roller coaster, dizzy. All things being equal. Small donkey of the Southwest, a burro, or in, I guess in Spanish would be burro. You have to roll the R. Or in Portuguese, you will say burro. You'd say the RR. Luckily, you know, I'm not great at rolling my R's, but luckily when I went to Brazil, I learned that a double R, instead of rolling your R, you make a h, like a guttural h sound. Burro. Items shot from cannons at basketball games. Tees, right? T-shirts. Spark as curiosity. To pique. Yeah, to pique your interest. I've heard of that. Let's see. It's shocking to see the word dizzy in the mini, while yesterday the Wordle answer was tizzy. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? Oh, I hope you got to watch mine. I made it to the 6th guess. I was like, and then I asked like Biddy or something. I forget. I threw away a guess. It was the dumbest thing. And then I finally got it on the 6th, thinking, is it Tizzy? Maybe. But yeah, to see Dizzy and Tizzy in the same, like one day after the other is kind of funny. Sky blue hue, azure. Government policy leaders, czars. Okay. Kylo Ren, villain in Star Wars universe. Kylo. Love that. Yeah, Kylo Ren. More. What an IOU represents. Debt. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Whether it's to an individual, a country, or a loan shark. Oh, guys, don't get into debt. Oh, it's such a scary place to be. Such a scary place to be. I know. They love crossover. They love crossover. I think one day they're... You know how I like pick words and then use them? I have this funny like Truman Show feeling that they watch me. I mean, seriously, guys, if there's any evidence, one time we were doing the letterboxed, and one of the sides was KHM, and I'm like, what? How is that a coincidence? Like, they had to have, seen my live streams. They know that I do live streams. And then I humble myself and realize that I'm a nobody on YouTube. And there's no way that they're watching me. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, let's do... I think I told you a couple days ago I actually skipped the Wordle. Now, I realized that I had done it when I went and recapped everything, right? But it was this like panic moment. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do the Wordle. I recapped the connections. I recapped the 2 mini crosswords. I think maybe that's where it screwed me up, because I was like, oh, I did 3 puzzles already. Move on. And I went straight to Strands without doing the Wordle. And then in my recap, I was like, oh, I didn't do the Wordle. So I did it real quick. And it was easy, whatever it was. I got it in 4. But I remember that panic moment. Like, oh my gosh, how could I do such a thing? I have a 161-day streak. At the time, I had, almost a 160-day streak. How can I lose this now? Not in the original word list. Oh, man. I've noticed a lot of them that start with or end with a Y. A lot of them end with a Y. Maybe I should guess words that have a Y at the end as my opening move. How about flower? A little bit of help. All right, we got a U and we got an R. Oh, that's a word I could play. Piety or piety. Last time I said that word, it created kind of a firestorm. Because people said, "What? You pronounce it piety?" And then other people were like, "What? That's so weird. Why would you pronounce it piety?" So, okay, a little more help. Piety gave us the T. Can we come up with... Oh, we can. Absolutely. Harry Potter and his wands. Okay, and there's an S. Or, excuse me, an S. I'm looking at the S at the end of wands. An N. So... what if we tried... They're all in the wrong place. T... R-U-N-K. Let's see. T could go there. R could go there. U could go there. N could go there. And then K we haven't guessed yet. Yeah. Let's see what that does at least. Okay, there's an N in the right place, and then everything else is in the wrong place. Okay, so that makes me feel like the U is here, right? It's consonant U, like R, U, something. Runt. Maybe not. T, let's see, we've guessed N, U. Oh, duh, it ends. Okay, but it's not. Could be NT. NT is a good strong ending. What about grunt? No, the R can't go there though. Shoot. Or the U. U can't go there. Okay. Okay, what do we have? What do we have? We could go... I'm really hung up on this. I'm really hung up. Okay, what are the endings? Could it be... Okay, if you can't go there, then I wonder if it's U, and then N, and R? No, that doesn't make sense. And T, that's a good solid ending. And G, could be NG. but then T can't start it. And then if it's 3 consonants in a row, okay, let's... We've got a T, we've got an R, we've got a U, we've got an N. 4 letters. We know that the N goes in the 4th. So it's something, 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 N, something, T. That is a good solid ending. Could it be something else? And U, not as likely. That's the only vowel, too. So maybe we double the vowel, like it's, something U. It's not as likely. Okay. N. Okay, I don't think it's the N. Or excuse me, I don't think it's a U at the end. R, not likely. Double N. I can't think of a word that has a double N. And then a T. I feel good about ending it with a T. So that means what's left is... But the U, see, the U, that's the problem. The U needs to not go in the middle. And we know it doesn't go at the end. We know it doesn't go in the middle. And so it's probably some consonant, U, blank, and T. Surely they... I think I got one. Okay, because check this out. Burnt, right? Something that got burned is burnt. U could go there. R could go there. N has to go there. T goes here. Let's try it. It might be burnt. Oh, okay. Awesome. You got Wordle in 4 today, Tyson? Awesome. Oh, you start with the same words every day? That's cool. Morning, Lipo. How you doing? Why did you just psych yourself out like Scooby from Scooby-Doo? I know. I'm I'm Shaggy or Scooby. I need to go make a 10-foot high sandwich now. Actually, fun fact, I do that sometimes. My kids, my wife, we'll be hungry. We're at, some store, and, they always sell French bread. And so we'll buy one of those big, tall baguettes, French bread baguettes. And, we'll get all sorts of different toppings and, pickles and ham and turkey and cheese and all that. And I'll stack it. And it gets pretty high. And then sometimes I'll throw it, well, most of the time, I'll throw it under the broiler so it, melts the cheese. And then just slap one on top of the other. And we call it the Scooby-Doo sandwich. Yeah, 10-foot high sandwich. Yep, I call those the Scooby-Doo sandwich. And my kids love it, right? It's got everything. Pickles, olives, lettuce. You got to be healthy, of course, right? Tomato, good stuff. Scooby-Doo sandwich. Yeah, this number right here, the 26 on the six tries number, used to say 25, but... what was it, 2 days ago? I nearly threw the whole thing away. I think it was Nervy, wasn't it Nervy? And then the next day, or 2 days later, was Tizzy. Yeah, yesterday was Tizzy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, heaven help me if I lose this right here, right now, if I don't say Tizzy. I know, you were talking about that sandwich, Tyson. I don't know how I feel about it, though. Peanut butter and salsa. That doesn't seem right. All right, and Strands. Let's do Strands. And if you've never played Strands before, you guys know the drill. Think of it like a word search, right? There's words hidden in this box, and they're hidden somewhere. We don't know what the words are. They're all based on this theme. Pet store purchase. So what are we going to buy for our furry family members? What are we going to buy for our furry family members? Maybe a tank? Oh, okay. First try, fish tank. Is it pet store purchase? I see a Q and a QU. Aquarium. Whoa. Okay. I thought this was about all your pets, right? Your dogs, your cats, your furry, you know, I was going to say rats, your snakes, your tarantulas. No. It's just about your fish. Okay, so what are we buying for our finned friends? Not our furry friends, our finned friends. A tank, rocks. M-O. What are we buying? A memo. I don't know. What are we buying for them? John Marco just cast a deep, dark shadow over us, reminding us of the July 31st connections. Uh-oh. Is it really going to be that bad? There it is. A thermometer. Yeah, you want to keep the water the right temperature. That's smart. Oh, yeah, for sure. You want to buy your fish pants. I feel like this is an ANT word. What do we buy? Fish food? Pet store purchase. You're just going to buy fish? Yeah, at the pet store, you're going to buy the fish. Absolutely. I saw pants, right? Slap pants. Oh, plants. Okay, fine. It's not pants, it's plants. Fine, have it your way. Have it your way. Sonny and I are on the same team here. Lance and slaps. Fumpy. There's two more words. Two more. Okay. What am I missing here? What do you buy for your fish at a pet store? Okay, the M and the U must go together, either before or after. Oh, wait, a filter. Oh, duh. A pump. Muppy? Yeah. It's for the actual tank. Yep, you are correct. There it is. All right, pet store purchase. right? For the aquarium. At first I thought this was just about any pets that you buy at the pet store, or things you'd buy for your pets. You know, your dog gets a goofy costume or a bone. Your cat gets a cat tower. No, this is just about the aquarium. So you buy the tank, buy rocks, buy a thermometer so the water is the right temperature, plants, right? Little things for them to swim around. Of course, you're going to buy the fish and a pump for circulating the water, keeping the water clean, and a filter. So the pump is really good. It keeps the water oxygenated, so there's plenty of oxygen bubbled into the water. And then, of course, a filter. Yeah, cool. Sonny, I feel like I haven't seen you on in a long time. I feel like it's been a while. I'm glad you're with us. Okay, and then Letterboxd, who needs no introduction, maybe a minor introduction. Let's use up all 12 of these letters by spanning across. Now, we can't use two letters on the same side, one after the other. So, like LS, we can't use LS. Q and U, that'll be a little tricky. We have to solve in 5. If it's easier letters, maybe we have to solve in 4. And harder letters... Oh, man. That was one of those sneezes I felt coming from a mile away. Harder letters, maybe we have to solve in 6. But today probably shouldn't be too bad. Ooh, I can't do NT. I was going to do quantity or something. I don't know. This is a great day for a 2-word solve. Remember last time it was qualification? I don't see an F this time. How about qualities? Another one with a Q. And then... Oh, if we could do a double T, we could play stubborn. STUBB. Oh, U and B are on the same side anyway. Yeah, miniature ocean. That's a good way to say it. Yeah, we could play squares. QARES. Maybe that's a better way to start this. I don't know, because if you're saying we can solve it in 2, because I'm not seeing a way to use up the B. Okay, so hold on. Qualities. I am going to write it down. Of course I'm going to write it down. That's what I do best. Squares. All right, let's try squares and see where it takes us. SQUARES. Okay, squares. Huh. I liked our options a little better with the other word. Oh, man, that's a good word, too. Solution? Can't do solution because IO is on the same side. I keep thinking of words that have NT. Okay, I think I want to start with qualities again. Okay, qualities. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do it in 2 today with that word, but I feel like we have more options. How about just snob? And then to bore. To make someone super bored, they bore. Acquisitions. Wait, we could have played acquisitions? Are you kidding me? Hold on. AQUISITI. Oh, we can't play IO right there. That's a stellar word. Sonny, that's a stellar word. Acquisitions. All right, we did it in 3. How did you guys solve it in 2? That's what I want to hear. How did you solve it in 2? Oh, true. ACQU. Right. I like your thinking, though. I love you're thinking outside the box, right? It's outside the box. It's a box full of letters. That's funny. So the word qualities led to snob, and then the B for bore. We had to solve it in 5 today. We solved it in 3. No doubt. We did good. Okay. And then for the connections, let's just recap. And by the way, you guys, if you're just joining in, if you like what you see, give it a like and consider subscribing because we do this every day, and hopefully you enjoy it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's do the connections. I was going to say, even as I drive, not as I drive. I'm not going to do the puzzles while I drive. That's why I'm doing it now. In a few hours, we are driving out of state, and when I get to our destination, I have set up my laptop so that I can do these streams remotely, even though I'm not at my desk with my fancy switcher and all this stuff, right? I'm going to do it just a lot simpler. I won't have the green screen. I'll just have like a webcam kind of thing. Well, it's a lot more basic, a lot more simple, but that's okay. For the customs, I'm excited to see that too. Aquaculture. Whoa, that's a good word. All right, so in the connections puzzle today, we did great. We didn't quite do it in color order. We did it in my original, what I thought was color order. I always thought green was first, but I was not correct. The most straightforward is yellow, and then moving to green and blue and then purple. To mitigate, to cushion, to dampen, to soften, or to temper. I like that. To temper the mood. Tempering chocolate actually makes it harder, not softer. Sassiness, attitude, cheek, lip, and mouth. Give someone some sass. Patterns. Here's some patterns, right? Camo pattern, checker pattern, right? Checkerboard. Honeycomb, right? That hexagonal pattern, and stripes. And then the last one, the purple. Again, fill in the blank is mostly purple, but we have seen some blue fill in the blank now. I like that. We've got pie, chess pie. I actually had to look that one up. It is a southern pie. Looks like a custard, sort of like a pecan pie or pecan pie, depending on how you say it. Without the nuts, of course, but just it's like a custard more. Like a, what do you call that? Like a, the filling of like a banana pie, not a banana cream pie, because that tastes like banana. The filling of like a coconut cream pie. That's a good way to think about it. Looks like a coconut cream pie without the coconut. It's just like a custard. It looked really good. I've just never heard of it before. I have lots of family in the South, and I've never heard it. Cutie pie. Humble pie, right? If you're humbled by something, take a slice of humble pie. And then whoopie pie. I've heard of that one. Nice. Okay. So get ready for, this was in the mini crossword. We did it all with the across answers, none with the down puzzle. We didn't even need the down clues. We just got it with the across. So get ready for a vacation. Pack. That's what my family is doing upstairs right now. And I'm going to join them in a couple minutes. How you might feel after riding a roller coaster. Dizzy. Oh, heck yeah. All things being equal. A small donkey of the Southwest, a burro, or a burro. Let's see. Items shot from cannons at basketball games. Tees, right? T-shirt cannon. Spark as curiosity. To pique your interest. Sky blue hue. Azure. The azure sky. Government policy leaders. Czars. Kylo Ren, the villain in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. Let's see. And an IOU represents debt. Try not to get into debt, you guys. It's not a fun place to be. Okay. And then, let's see. We've got our Wordle. And in the Wordle today, we've got the word flower first off. And it gave us a U and an R. And then piety or piety. I've heard it both ways. I'll say piety because I know that makes less people mad. What happened? You said, oh my gosh, Tyson. I don't know. And then we tried a third non-intersecting word, which was wands. And that gave us the N and the T and the U and the R. So I said trunk, which gave us the N in the right place at least, but everything else was all mixy. And then every other word I thought of had a U right in the middle, right? It was consonant, consonant, U, consonant, consonant. Because that was the only vowel left, not even the Y. And then so I thought, okay, maybe it's in the second place. And then NT is a great way to end a word. So maybe it's like RNT or RU something NT. But burnt made sense there. And sure enough, that was the answer. So we got it in 5. Tyson said he got it in 4 today, which is awesome. Cool. So then after that, we did the Strands puzzle. And I thought, from today's theme, pet store purchase, that this must be about, all things pet store. You'd buy a cat tower or dog food or, I don't know, a hoodie for your puppy or something. Pet store purchases all today had to do about the aquarium. So a tank, rocks. You're going to buy rocks for the bottom of the aquarium tank. Thermometer to make sure the water's the right temperature. Plants to make it look pretty and give it something to swim around with. Of course, you're going to buy your fish. The first pet my kids ever had was a betta fish. And it was only 50 cents with an expired coupon. They took this expired coupon, and we got this betta fish for only 50 cents. But, of course, you had to buy the tank and the food and everything else. So the fish itself was 50 cents, sure. But we ended up spending, a lot more than that, buying all the other stuff. You would buy a pump and a filter, all things for an aquarium. And then the letterbox today. I still didn't hear from you guys. How did you solve it in two words? I think Aranha said he solved it in 2 words today. Yeah, if you figured out how to do that in 2, I'd love to hear it. Snobberies. Oh, that would have 2 B's though. I don't think that's how you spell it anyway. So today we did it in 3. We had to do it in 5. So we're 2 under par today. Aranha said he hit a hole in 1 today, but I didn't hear how, so I'd love to hear how. Solved yours in 3 words too. Qualities, snob, and then B led to bore. And we got rid of all 12 letters. How did they do it yesterday? Let's see what the puzzle was yesterday. It was avow and whimpering. Avow and whimpering. What did I use? Undone, studio, open. I don't know. Lots of things. That's not how I did it, though. Not the way. This is not the way. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, like I said, you guys, I am going upstairs to pack, to load the car, maybe to throw some ice in the cooler, and then before you know it, we're going to hit the road. We have to drop the dog off at his sitter. Good friend of mine. She has dogs already, but this dog, he's a little different. He spent quite a while in a shelter, and he's heard lots of other dogs barking for their lives, and that's probably where he's going to think. I don't know. Every time he sees a dog, it's a hit and miss. We're walking the dog, and there's another dog. If it's a little yippy dog and it's just going bark, 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 he will probably start freaking out. 2 golden doodles, he would love it. 2 golden retrievers, I don't know. We're going to find out in a few hours. I'll let you know how that goes, dropping off the dog. Cool. I will absolutely, I've been checking out every one of your shorts. I am so glad you're posting shorts. I think that's so awesome. I do these live streams specifically on the vertical format because when you do it vertically, it throws it into the shorts feed. I mean, that's how a lot of these people found it, right? Sliding through shorts, and they're like, oh, that sounds fun. And so I find that I get quite a bit of not only watch like viewers, but also watch time. And so you may consider, if you have a good enough internet connection, you can even multi-stream where you do just like a wide horizontal and a vertical at the same time. I haven't done that yet because my internet is poo-poo. But once I am able to sustain a better internet connection, I believe they're getting fiber in my neighborhood pretty soon here. So, but once we end up, having a better connection, more solid connection than the dial-up that I currently have, I will be able to stream. I'll probably multi-stream. Honestly, I'll do a vertical and a wide. I could even do like multiple platforms. You could do it, one on Twitch, one on whatever, Facebook. Who knows? I don't know. There are a lot of options. For the next week, I will not be doing this typical format. It'll still be a stream. It'll still be vertical. It'll still be exactly what you're seeing. But I'll be at my father-in-law's house out of state, and so I will be. I'll be doing that a different way. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for a great stream. Thanks for the chat. Busy chat today. Love Sonny came on. Haven't seen you in a long time. That's so good to have you. Tyson, Aranha, Gianmarco, Mandy was on for a while. Just really good to have all of you. Lightbow, so glad you're here. Yeah, awesome. Really cool. Thanks for the help. Thanks for helping me, giving me little hints here and there, because sometimes my brain is just not fully turned on in the morning. I don't know. It's just funny. Yeah. Anyway, you guys are great, and I will catch you on the next one. Even though I'm out of state, you're amazing. See ya.